welcome to another version of Visions of What Is to Come. And this particular vision or particular segment, I had several visions, and I'm gonna go to the main one because I feel like that's the most important one. Well, I had a dream, a vision, and it was a night vision, and it was about maybe at least I'm gonna say maybe 6 to 8 weeks ago. And in this particular dream, I remember being out in the streets, and I remember running and looking and watching people actually break into buildings and people screaming, they were looting. It was just mass hysteria. And it felt like the a purge. It was almost like it was a real live purge. Now I didn't see the latest purge that just played in the theater not too long ago. But I have seen in the original one, and I when I woke up, I was like, that was a purge. That was like a purge because it felt like it was almost like they had permission, to do what they wanted to do. I felt it was like okay, like somehow you wasn't gonna get in trouble. And trust me, that particular movie was not in my spirit. As you can see, there's all kind of movies that are now playing in the theater, and that one was not in my spirit. Like, oh, I want to go see that. That was not, no, it wasn't in my spirit at all. And so, because I know when I can see something and then I go to bed and then I dream something similar, I know that's not, no. But this was like they had permission somehow to go out and loot and do whatever they want. And it was like, okay, now either they had permission or the government just didn't care. So it was one of those. But anyway, the government wasn't trying to stop it. It felt like there was no like policing. There were no, like security. It was just whatever, do whatever you want to do. People was trying to survive. Like I said, I remember people screaming. I remember people, being murdered. It was a horrific experience. And when I saw it, I knew, even though I was having a dream, I guess they call it lucid, I knew what was going on. I was like, okay, this is the end times, and this is something that's gonna happen. It was like I was participating, like in a play or a movie. But anyway, I just want to let you know, I know that is coming. I believe in my spirit that is coming. And if you follow into the international news, you will see what's going on in Venezuela. And I don't know, like the ins and out of what's happening there, except for the economy fell, and they started off, like being, I guess the government had some kind of control. Things were ridiculously priced. People couldn't afford like a loaf of bread. It was just like what the Bible says. And now, I guess, either the government just stopped caring or the people was like, okay, we sick of this, but now it's bad. They're raiding the food trucks that was coming in. It's really bad. It's looting. So if you get a chance, turn on, YouTube, or not on YouTube, just put it in Google and put in Venezuela, riots or what's happening in Venezuela, and it will show you. And I believe that it's going to happen here. I'm not one that's sitting back like, ooh, I can't wait for this. No, it's very still disheartening when you have, when you want to make plans for the future and you want to do things, but in your spirit you can't because you know what God's shown you. And then I get confirmation, I watch random people, on YouTube, and see what they're saying. And, it really amazes me how a lot of people are fooled about who Donald Trump is. And let me just get this straight. I don't want somebody to say, oh, she don't like him because he's white. I have probably one of the most diverse families that you want to see. I have people married to different people of all races. And that's not even true. Even my ancestors, I have a white in my ancestry, just like most of us. But I have people that's like in-laws that are not black. So that's not it. I'm not a racist. I said all that to say this. I'm not a racist. Just trying to let you know who I am. But this man is fooling people. And what scares me for other people is that if he can fool you right now with everything. And I'm not saying that Hillary is the best candidate either. Okay. But what I'm saying, if this man is actually fooling you and you believe, oh, he's going to make America great again, what's going to happen when the Antichrist shows up? If you really think that this man is so great for this country, okay, you're mistaken. He's not. And are you going to ask me, is Hillary even better? No. Hillary's not even better, but let's look at what's the worst of the two. Okay, let's just look at it. What's the worst of two evils? Which one would you choose if you had to choose? If somebody said you gotta choose, who would you choose? And that's what it boils down to. When people say, well, boils down to, and say, well, oh no, I'm not gonna vote. That means when somebody say it to me, that really kind of irks me because I know how, my ancestors, what they went through, in history to vote. So it really angers me, even though people say, well, your vote don't count as the electoral college, but it's the act of voting, it's the act of, participating in it, in the election. And I'm going to say this, and I say it again. Donald Trump is not called by God, okay? He's not. The Lord can allow a thing to be because he's going to play a part in, like, in history, what's coming up. And just like Judas, played a part in history who betrayed Christ. So, Judas had to betray Christ. So somebody, got to do a dirty job and they may not want to, but I believe, is going to be the person that will bring in disaster. He's already bringing in disaster. And if he is allowed to become the president, because I need to say this too to everybody, the people who believe in he is, oh, the elite can't control him. Let me ask you something. How many millionaires and billionaires do you know that's not part of the Illuminati or the elite? Do you really believe that this man is not a part of it? I mean, come on, he's not a part. Every president who is actually, allowed to get in the White House has some type of elitist connection. And I'm not gonna say too much. You're not gonna find me somewhere, dead and people want to know. No, my family already know. If anything happened to me, okay, they'll know it was the government. What can they do about it? It can't do anything. But my channel is so small. I doubt, that anybody will even paying attention. But there's gonna come a point where I know that I'm gonna get some exposure because of something that's gonna happen, and at that point, I'm gonna let y'all know, okay? In which they definitely could track anything. They could track me or whatever. I'm stopping. I'm not making any more videos, and I probably even just take them down. I mean, you probably say, oh, well, they probably made copies. Maybe they did, but at least they'll say, oh, okay, she's trying to stay quiet. I'm not scared, but that's what the Spirit told me to do. Okay, you got all these years I've been sitting here telling y'all something will happen. I've been telling y'all things will happen, then things will happen. I get confirmation. I say this. I say Walmart's gonna start closing. Walmart's closing. I said once those Walmart start closing, things is gonna start happening. Things are happening, and you all look at TV and they try to take your mind. We looking at regular TV out the they try to take your mind off the big picture. Like, I'm thinking so many things I can't get it all out. They're trying to take your mind off the big picture. There's things happening. Okay, this election it's deeper than what you all think or know. And no matter who gets in the White House, we're in trouble anyways. I'm just gonna let y'all know. It don't matter who get in the White House. If he get in there, all I can say is that he bold with his. Hillary may be, on the low with hers, but regardless, he just bold with his. It's probably gonna happen even faster. It's gonna happen. Okay, I just want to say that, so I'm just telling y'all, just keep, doing what you're doing. If you land on this channel and you don't know, Jesus, I ask you, to just, repent. We all trying to make it in. Okay, we all want to be in that number. We all want to hear, well done, that good and faithful servant. Okay, so next, and another vision, and this one, it didn't scare me, but it made me think, okay, am I going to make it, through the tribulation before, Jesus do come back? Because I believe, this is what I believe. I believe that we're going to go through a tribulation period before Jesus come back. That's what I believe. I don't believe we're going to be taken up before the tribulation. And I'm not going to say rapture because that rapture word is not in the Bible, but caught up, taken up. I believe Jesus is going to come and return, but I believe before he does return that, we're going to go through a tribulation. Because even in the scripture, and I'm paraphrasing, he said, if I don't come back for you, even the very elect will be fooled. So that means that whoever the Antichrist is, he gonna be so good at what he does, and probably everybody believing it. You look like an idiot if you don't believe it, like you're crazy. Okay, and the Lord, like, let me get down there, because just a very few of the ones that's holding on, I got to go get, because I'm going to lose them. Okay, that's how convincing this person is going to be. Now, and everybody and their brother, every close relative, everybody saying, oh, this is him, and you still saying, no, no, no. And everybody saying, and after a while, people looking at you, like, well, let's get them. And that's why Jesus got to come back. Because he said, if I don't, that small remnant is going to believe, because what choice do they have? Then they might be questioning their own sanity, and the Lord, like, no, no, no. I'm gonna come back. I got to, before that happens. That's just me and what I believe, how it's gonna be, and why the Lord said that in the scriptures. That I have to come back, because if I don't, He's gonna fool the very elect. Now, here it is. This ain't the Antichrist, and Donald Trump is fooling some of y'all. I'm just gonna tell y'all to wake up. Because you're not seeing the big picture. If you honestly think, oh, they can't control him, the elite can't control him, okay, he is part of the elite. I even seen, and I wish I had the link to it. A lot of times I find something and try to come back and it's gone. Okay, so even if I found this video, I'm gonna tell y'all about. It was a video I seen where they was actually welcoming people into the elite club. He was saying you're now joined an exclusive club of people. That you. I mean, he was telling them, and you can feel. I had this chill come over me. I know it's something fake. It was real, because when I was looking at it, I was like, I don't think I'm supposed to be looking at this, but I couldn't take my eyes off of it, and I kept hearing the Spirit say, watch it, watch it, watch it, because you probably won't be able to see it. Again, I'm like, why do I have to watch? I couldn't. I felt scared watching it. Okay, that's how I knew it was real, and I doubt seriously you can find it again. And if you can, I'm telling you now, when you watch it, you'll get these chills to come over you, because you know it's real. He was standing up there, welcome people into the Leaders Club. He said, "You Illuminati." He said, "You are now a part of the Illuminati. Welcome to the Illuminati welcoming video that somebody had posted out there, and it was not fake." And I'm gonna tell you what. Put it this way: if that video was fake, then they took an actor and they reenacted the actual video. But the message and what he was saying, I know that was real. Okay, so to say all that, I don't know if, like I said, what I'm getting ready to tell y'all now, if it was because this is gonna happen to me, or was showing me, what's gonna happen. Okay, I just couldn't. The Lord wouldn't let me feel that. But me and my husband had been caught. I guess caught by the government or whatever in this dream. And they had us in a room, and the lady was talking to me, and she was looking at me saying, it's such a waste, because I had, such a gift that I could, do certain things, and I can now, but I don't abuse my gift. And you know what? I didn't ask for this. This is what the Lord gave me. There are some people that are gifted, and people say, oh, they evil, or they mean, or they practice witchcraft. No, there are some people who are born that can see in the spirit realm. There are people who can leave their body. They have no control over it. Okay, when you purposely do something, that's witchcraft. When you purposely try to manipulate somebody with your gift, or try to control another person's, like feelings and stuff. No, I believe then you dip it into witchcraft. But anyway, so she looked at me and she said, such a waste that we have to get rid of you. And then I was like, well, can my husband go with me? We both gonna die. And they put us in a room, and it felt like some type of vault. And all I can tell y'all is that I believe they're gonna bring back the gas chambers, because we was holding each other, and I believe we was praying. We was holding each other, and the next thing I know, we was holding each other praying, but our bodies were laying down there on the ground. I mean, on the floor. And we looked at each other. We said we dead. We died, and we didn't feel nothing. So I'm gonna say this, and I always believed it. I believe that in the last days, some of us will have our heads cut off with a guillotine, and some of us, they're gonna bring back some old techniques. Okay, like they did, when they did the Holocaust. I'm telling y'all, they're gonna bring back some old techniques, and I have mentally prepared myself. I've been telling myself, for God I live, for God I die. If they cut my head off, they cut my head off. But I'm telling y'all, before that guillotine or that blade hit your neck, okay, we're gonna be gone. Because I felt this before. I heard the Spirit tell me that some of these people, there's been these children that was murdered, and some of these children that were raped and murdered or caught on fire. I'm telling y'all, people like, how can God let somebody die like that? The Lord then took their spirit out of their body. They didn't feel that trauma. I heard that before. I've heard that before. I've heard it. You know how people say they were laying there, and I've heard, because I deal with domestic violence, sexual assault, and I'm telling you that sometimes, when people get assaulted, they don't even feel themselves in the body when it's taking place. I don't know how they do it. I guess maybe they go into a zone or something in their minds that they just get out of themselves. And then also, there's people who mass murderers, and they be like, I don't know what happened. Or people who kill somebody and say, I woke up and I was just over top of the person and they stabbed them. Those people not lying. Something demonic hot in them took over their body, okay, and control it. The same way, if the enemy can get in somebody's body, control it, the Lord can take somebody's spirit out. Okay, He's a God that can do anything but fail. Some of us and a lot of us are not gonna feel that blade when it come down, or that gas chamber, because we didn't cough. I didn't remember us coughing, gagging, and from what I've been told, it's kind of bad when a person died from gas. They start foaming at the mouth and stuff, and inside, I believe it's burning up or something. I didn't feel none of that. And when that happened, that's what came over me. It was like I heard someone say, you're not gonna feel it. You're not gonna feel it. So don't be afraid. When it comes down to, dying for Christ, you're not gonna feel it. And that I felt before, and I know from what I just received, that message and that vision, that was what I got from it. That was in my spirit when I woke up. I just want to say thank you for watching. Keep doing what you're doing. All I can tell you is that, be prepared to cut on your TV. You know how you cut on your TV and you hear something? When the next big event is going to be just like that. Worse than 9/11. And I'm telling you now, get ready. Be ready. Have your oil lamps trimmed. Meaning be ready. I keep saying 11. We're in the 11th hour before midnight. Get whatever you need to survive and make it through this tribulation period. It gives me no pleasure to sit here and discuss this. It really doesn't. It took me weeks to make it, but I had to, because I heard Spirit say, okay, now, the Lord is gracious and merciful, but I'm not going to be disobedient. It's just that when it's in your spirit like that, you don't want to get up here and just be like, yeah, I can't. Who wants to look forward to that? So thank you for watching. May God bless you. May heaven shine upon you. And all I can tell you is keep looking up. Look up to the Father for help. Know that you're going to go through something. I don't know how bad it's going to be, but the Bible says it's going to be bad than anything you ever seen. There's children bodies missing, the organs. They're snatching people's bodies, women and children. They're finding them in oceans with their organs removed. We're living in the last time. Anytime you take a child and then, and I'm assuming they're putting them to sleep, and taking their organ. Even if they do that, I believe the Lord, just like I said before, taking their spirits out their body before they won't even feel this trauma. And I'm just asking y'all to say a word of prayer for me if you know prayer, if you're a praying person, and I'll do the same for you. And let's just try to make it in. Thank you for watching. Bye.